Kuno ke? Kuno does... Fuck does Kuno ke? Kuno does... Fuck does Kuno ke? Kuno does...
Yes? Yes?
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker. The box seems happy. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. It will take...
Her voice is...
Gottlieb, what you get yourself into this time? I didn't, but now I do. How's the drinking going? Ah, great to hear it. Stop by sometime when you're done with your case. I'll draw some blood, run it through, let you know how much forever your liver's going to give you. Look, pal, getting pumped and dumped is not a disease. People live through it all the time. You should be happy for her. You must have me confused for a close personal friend. I am not. I am a medical professional with a constant idiot emergency on my hands.
You hear someone whine in the background. My eye, Doc, my eye.
Mm-hmm. Anything else I can help you with, officer? a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. Ten four, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over. 10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? Oh, high-grade narcotics.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il-Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime...
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books? Which book was it, sir? Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. I haven't read that one yet. I wish I could help you.
Give up. You'll never find the answer. There's no other copy of Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity here. There isn't. If only you had more time, more resources. Who knows what you could have come up with? Maybe if there had been more money and less speed. Or more speed. Or that, yes. Either way, you might have been able to come up with an answer, but not like this. Hang on, you can do this. Use your imagination. You know who the suspects are. Just make it up. So, who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Denuva, detective? Just fucking pick one. It makes sense. Junkies and art collectors both need a steady stream of income. And what better way to generate income than murdering a couple of people? Well done, Ace Detective. You put a dangerous junkie and art collector behind bars. 2 birds with 1 stone. Now put your feet up and take a breather. The door is closed again. You hear someone inside, walking.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume. Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls. No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again, breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of what now? All I know about politics is that it's brought us more harm than good.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on a poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to.
It's generally easier to do things if you have.
Excuse me? Of course not.
You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20, at least.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit, too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards. Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Yes, well, I hope they're good people.
Your statements are too vague to comment on. What happened here? It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Indeed. A plaster cast, honestly. He does kind of look like you after all.
He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
This door is made of metal and appears no one answered.
Let's go. There's nothing to do here.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of... This coin-operated viewer is facing south. It has given up all its secrets. There seems to be a sunken sea fort on the islet. Your money the curtains on the display, the lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into it. It looks as if it was abandoned quite...
Really? I don't have the eyesight.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day? Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The three of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the three of us were just learning to walk and talk.
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. You... No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back, will it now?
Departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met. She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
He suddenly remembers you are still there, falls silent, and turns away.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
All right, this is how we're gonna do it.
Like what, officer? This is as good as they come in Revachol, I assure you.
An array of delicious recipes flashes through your mind. Salads, salmon, sandwiches. Bingo. This calls for an engineering angle. Structural rigidity, exposed rafters, lattice works, that type of approach.
Mon Dieu, that is an excellent idea. That would virtually negate the component loss. Ce serait délicieux! Can you make that sandwich, officer? I hope you are not just tricking an old man out of the little he has left. Okay. Sure. I'm not worried. We're here all the time. Every day. Impossible to miss us, officer.
He looks worried.
Is there anything I can do for you right now? Maybe to speed the whole process up a bit? It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. Sweet Jenny. Of course, officer.
The ham sandwich looks fresh and nutritious in your hand, begging to be eaten. The ham sandwich looks fresh and nutritious in your hand, begging to be eaten.
I'll pass. Thanks.
When you hold something up long enough, some people are compelled to take it. Try it on the lieutenant.
Thank you, but no, I'm not hungry. No. No.
The lieutenant's eyes express an absolute lack of interest. The lieutenant stands next to you, but he might as well exist in a parallel realm.
Stop that. I'm just not hungry. Camaraderie? Is it really necessary?
The bond between officers, partners, are paramount. That's how trust is built. Trust saves lives.
Okay. They are all necessary. Let's share the sandwich if it matters that much to you. Sure. Time to go solve a murder investigation.
In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen. Why? There's truly no point. You'll never know who did it, because those pages have... In your hand, you hold 4/5. There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of... The note is written with a blue pencil. An intricate web of blue lines. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky for you to discover. You've got someone who knows about history could tell. A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back. Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been... This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale. Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know. Sell me something lighter.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
All the old boomboxes are there, blinking and waiting to whirl.
Our tenant, the policeman.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while... The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling.
I'm tired.
sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
There is nothing.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone, just silence in the handset. The machine seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you, the call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying. You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial, then pull down on the number, then move one up, and repeat the motion. Strange. This is not how you started before. "414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air. 1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling. Yes, 45167451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks. 451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones. Calling. Calling in the night. Calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. The lieutenant is too far away to hear your yelp. The sea wind blows. Calling. 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 Calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello? Who is this? Dora, who is this? The connection is bad.
In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Bed springs rattle. Don't react. Whatever you do, don't react to that last thing. It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background. It's covered in pain and white noise.
No. It's you, isn't it? It's you. You're not ominous, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Do you know what time it is? It's so late here. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours. What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
I'm in Morova, sleeping.
22 million people live in Morova, the capital city of Grad. It is the capital of the world after Revachol was destroyed.
To work. The academy, where I work.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
Oh no, please stop. Please, let's just hang up.
Your hand isn't moving. The headset hisses in your ear with evil sadness.
Yes.
She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic taste on the tip. You dial the number again. 26 pulls of the rotary dial. The machine eats in the middle of it. A familiar ring. Small, distorted. Calling, calling. Calling, 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 calling.
Harry, please. Please. I'm going.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. There's some tear, two empty bottles of Tallulah vodka, and a can of black pot. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus
a tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here Red Astra is the black market version of... You see traces of mayonnaise. It's no older than a day or two. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. You see, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The trap is filled with dead. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand.
Tequila sunset.
Good fucking question, Tequila. I used to own my realities. Now, the only things I haven't lost are these two drunks. My agency. Man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was... I convinced my partners I was financing a group of poets.
Sounds intriguing. If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
I know. It was fucking awesome. Too bad I'm all ears, Tequila.
It's getting late, and it's raining. Time to call it a day.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Black water under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function. To keep you from it.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church. The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a...
Hi again, Gendarme. Bye-bye, Jean.
Hey, was there something you needed? Got the 20 real? Then why are you waiting?
The door is this door can still nothing. The lieutenant gives. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
Seems like an old bunker from the
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked eye. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your child. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good... No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry. If you want to try again, then you need...
Equip the pry bar by...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. The beer's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge slowly melting.
Yes?
Oh, it's you again. You look very good. That will be 7 real for one custom die. One universal die for Wirral Untethered.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's jaw.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex.
Our tenant, the police.
Right to work!
Hold on, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind. Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results. You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
Why? You have your own gun.
This is not what he thinks it is. This is a great idea. I'm afraid it's not what you think it is either.
What in the name of fuck are you doing?
I don't want to give you my gun.
The fuck is happening, Titus? What are they whispering about?
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
Police job? Be careful, it's loaded.
Your fingers wrap around the handle. The index slides into the trigger loop. Do it. Go. Good. Now put it in your mouth. I want to point it at them. Fin. Quit your whining. Everyone knows how to do that. You're a special man. You're going to point it at yourself. Go ahead. Show them.
What are you doing?
Genuine panic flies across the lieutenant's face.
Fellas, you getting any of this?
We'll solve the case. Look at me. Don't worry. This demonstration is not helping at all.
Inside the small mechanism, you can hear a spring tensing up.
Yeah. 'Cause I sorta wanna see that shit.
You won't, man. His fucking balls ain't big enough.
Deranged cop kills himself. Citizens in shock as a deranged law official, reportedly from the 41st precinct, shot himself in the head last night in the middle of a crowded cafeteria in downtown Martinez. The exact details of the incident have not been revealed, but first-hand witnesses claim that the officer was making a point. Can't say I'm surprised. Lawrence Gart, manager of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria, where the
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Starting from the right, wants the world to know, sitting on his right across. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Court, and then standard. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand on his neck. Forget it. Let's call this one the size 41. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. In conclusion, these 7 are the exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds.
The fuck is with you, fella?
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind. Did you already try the gun thing? I hear that you're probably right. The others are only there for filler. To make the gun thing pop.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, all right? We took the law. Handled it, all right?
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
No, asshole. You're nobody. I'm the law.
Stop yelling about the goddamn law in my establishment! We get it. You're all the law.
Let's just all cool off. We had some questions, that's all.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men. Sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
Huh? You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I've been running this outfit for 10 years now. You should have seen Martinez before it started. It was like jam rock now.
They didn't see shit, man. Kids getting shot. We had 3 shootings a week. Fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You want to talk to her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you talk to her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on Duke. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde. That's I'm on Duke with an O-U.
Shit. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop. You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as time.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
I know her.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all. Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
What do you think I meant? Yes, yes, and no. Got something to say about it? No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of, I don't give a shit.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that? Yes. The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. Okay, that's manageable. That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else? So she overheard you, or did you party together? Anything else? We'll be all right, Lieutenant. This is nothing.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be all right. Is it, though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up. The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice, there are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of her sip. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols produce a satisfying snap. Strange for such a low-caliber finger gun to sound so chunky. The flower in your other hand is impressed. So is Kim. That's not entirely true. The lieutenant is looking at the door to the east and mostly misses them. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. No, still a mini investigation.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy. Must be something valuable inside to go through the trouble of protecting it. The door is very sturdy indeed.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly. Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. I know. That's probably also why the cleaning lady quit.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Oh, I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed, her eyes on the cigarette. It's like she's disappointed this wasn't about more entertaining matters. She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? A martial art, sir. Is that it?
Samurai boxing, or sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth and cool.
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
The bills downstairs concur.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
She looks at you and nods.
I have no idea, officer. It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments. Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Very funky. Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Clausier Amandou.
Same name that Titus gave you. Like her accent, it sounds Oranese. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate.
Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates. Something for later.
A bad memory, officer.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revachol, the coalition. People consider it a reasonable superpower. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out anytime, like Revachol did in its prime.
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night, at least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing, if you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... only the name of the nation changes.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
No. Revacholian Lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. That's the natural state of the Revacholian hero. Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Rani's Lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Orania 37.
Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. It's a bit early in the morning for rate, isn't it?
She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below.
It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake? Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
We partied. a lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. I guess you can say that, yes, a bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's God's mystery phone cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him, like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely. Officer, what brings you up here in the rain? Yeah? All right. Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She looks back. Time moves slowly. A triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry, we will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. Nothing, just time passing. Don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting. She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head. Her hair brushes her shoulders, making a small hissing sound, almost imperceptible. The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Yes? What is it?
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? Again? Seriously, man. Fine. Fire away. Yeah, whatever. Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy. Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why, won't you listen to it?
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner. A door gun is a gun mounted to the door of a transport airship. They have a habit of mowing down civilians. Farmers mostly.
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
Yeah, like you have one, smartass. We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Six crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the king's men too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War. Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You push Command C, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
He's right.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice one. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. still. Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad.
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it, but he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkle.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol.
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable. I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a count, and he died a count. Let's leave it at that. Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is, part of life really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore, about anything really. But you must need something. René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies. That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much. There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communards. They called them the Bells of Revolution. I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The Royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore. Yes? What about René?
Yes.
It is... I just don't know anymore. About anything really. But you...
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything. No, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, and then had to internalize them to keep on living, until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
She's quite observant about the human character, trained to observe, even.
People who go to university know how to use words like internalize and integrate, officer. Now, what was that expression?
There's more to this. She has an index in her head of pathologies and how to exploit them. I can almost see her turn the pages.
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Semenys conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink. Everything left to be clarified is in the column on the left.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat. Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes, we were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No, he was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot. There is nothing on Muindi. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too. He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points aren't good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
There is no challenge without competition. There must be an opponent. This is clearly sports for him. Something like archery or darts. The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you. She's enjoying this.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Oh, that. Sure, service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. Oh, yeah. No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Change of topic, perhaps?
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Huh? How old? 58? You asked. He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week. On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
There's silence. Then a little more.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Just like the last time. Don't worry. We will protect you from it. We will see through deceits. You are advised. The strange moment ends.